Hi guys, just a quick update here from our micro manufactory. We're still making these 3D printed visors, as many as we can, as quickly as we can. If you don't know what we're doing already, our goal is to get as many of these 3D printed visors out to local care providers in our immediate area. There's a great strain on the number of these that can be supplied at the moment, and while these don't meet the kind of same certification as professional ones do, they will offer some sort of protection against splashes and hopefully protect our workers that might be coming into contact with people with coronavirus. So that's our goal really, is to make as many of these as possible. Some of the problems we've had is the cost of the materials has gone up quite a lot in the last week. So yesterday we actually started a GoFundMe page. We needed £300 to make 1,000 visors, and we easily reached that in less than a day, so that's really fantastic. It's actually amazing. So thank you so much for your support, and hopefully we can get these out to the carers in less than 4 or 5 days. I'm saying 7 days gives us a bit of stretch. So what I was just going to do today is just have a quick look with a little bit more detail about the setup we've got here, have a little talk about some of the precautions we're taking to try and keep these clean, and they're not going to be sterile because they're made at home and we haven't got a sterile manufacturing area, but we're just going to talk a little bit how we're trying to make sure they're clean as possible before they go out. And we're also putting a note in with the packs to make sure that people do give them a clean the first time they use them. Although we're all fit and healthy here, we don't show any symptoms of coronavirus at all. I think, you know, it's better to be over precautious. You wouldn't want to be possibly passing the virus around on these packages. So, oh, that's one's gone on the floor. This is just our test one anyway. That one was for trying out this new blue material that we've got. Right, let's have a little look at the kind of work area we've got here, and I'll just go through us kind of preparing the machines for another day's use. So these are the machines that we've been using. These are some prints that have run overnight. It's actually the Ender 3. They were about £140 each, but they're more like £300 now. The price of everything's fluctuating so much. So once these are printed, we have to peel them off the print bed, and what we've actually got going here is a stack of 3 individual units. If I get a pair of snips here, I can actually cut them apart. Shouldn't be doing this, I normally have gloves on, but just for the video here I'm going to show you how these come apart. So some of them come apart easier than others. You need to slide around and we can actually pull 3 units off. Now there is a problem with these stack prints, is the quality is not quite as good as a band that was printed on its own. So these are printed in 3s, which means we can get 6 off the printer in one go, but then we do have to go through the effort of pulling them apart, and once they've been pulled apart I like to go over them with a file as well, because some of them have got some prickly bits, some of them have got sharp edges. So although that's a good way to get lots of prints off the printer in one go without having to come back and start the printer every half an hour or hour, the quality of the prints is not as good. But we're trying that out to try and speed up printing, and hopefully if we could print 10 on one of these printers, or even more, we could get, you know, 20 or 40 units out of these printers overnight. But at the moment we're just running them during the day. First thing in the morning, once the printer has been unloaded, we like to give them a clean, and we're actually going to use some disinfectant spray here just to spray down on the bed, give that a nice clean to make sure any bacteria or anything that's formed there overnight shouldn't do really, because that is a hot bed there, but it's nice just to keep them nice and clean. The material that we're using comes on a roll. It's a little filament of plastic. It's about 1.75 millimetre. We get 1 kilogram on a roll. They were £10 a roll, they're now £20 a roll, but we have managed to get some more. The filament comes down here and comes into a motor that pushes it down this pipe, and then it actually gets pushed out down here. So actually just think hot glue gun that moves backwards and forwards. This bed moves backwards and forwards, and as it knits this plastic together, the nozzle moves up and does layers on top of layers. And there again is our finished part. So I'm just going to go round, sterilise all the machines and the work surfaces there, and then we'll have a quick look at the assembly line. Here we have some new material that we've got. This is actually a kind of light blue material. One of the things we have noticed is that all the materials need slightly different settings, and they all need, or they all have different levels of success. So this blue material in particular, we're suffering with something called stringing, which is where the filament doesn't bind very well, and we've increased the temperature to try and overcome that, and the only way you can really overcome it is to print slower. So if they feel strong, we'll actually file that off and trim it off, and they will still be fit for purpose. This one's not so bad, it will just need a bit of sandpaper to clean that up. On the other hand, I have some of this pink material. That is also new, came in with this blue batch. They're printing on the same setting, and this is a much better quality part. This is almost ready to be made straight into a visor without any sanding or any filing, so that really saves some effort. Thanks for that, pink. So for our next high-tech piece of equipment, it's actually our manufacturing bench over here. You would be forgiven for thinking it's just a sofa bed with a sheet on the top. You'd be right, actually, that's exactly what it is. So that's our kind of work area where we do our assembling. What I'm going to do now is just use some all-in-one disinfectant here. It says it's suitable for soft surfaces and fabrics, and it says it does virus and bacteria. So we're just going to give this a nice spray. Make sure our area here is not as sterile as it could be, but more sterile than it was. Up from our fitting bench there, we also have our warehouse. This is where we keep our stocks. So these are the headbands that we printed yesterday. I think that, and through the night, I think we managed to get 250 done. So that's probably just over 24 hours worth. Yeah, we need to get these assembled up, and we'll be doing that in a minute. And then finally we have our automated press area. I call it automated. It's automated in the fact that you have to do it manually. What have we got here? So two materials that we're using. We've got the laminating pouches, I think about 120 micron or something like that. They have to go through the hot laminator to become transparent. They start off frosted. And we have had some problems with these warping, and you can see there's a little bit of wrinkling in. They are nicely transparent, better than being sneezed in the eyes, but yeah, they're not brilliant. And then the other things that we're using are these clear acetate sheets. These we use for OHPs. They seem to be better. These are slightly thicker than usual. I think they're about 180 microns, so they've got a bit of rigidity to them. So what we have here is our precision hole punching machinery. It is actually just two hole punches, double-sided, taped down to this edge here, and we measured these out very precisely. And what we can do is we actually take, let's get some. These are already punched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can do 5 at once. Make sure they're in line, offer them into the punch brackets there, and then we can just go 1, 2, 3, and we've got 5 of them with the holes punched in correctly. Okay, what we've got to do now is turn all of these into visors. Need to get them done as quickly as possible because we've got some people coming to collect them in the next hour or so. Let's get on with it. Okay, hopefully that's about 250 of those punched, who knows. Let's get on with assembling the headbands. Right guys, okay, well we've got them all done there. That was an excellent opportunity to listen to some music. I'm afraid you're going to have to listen to the royalty-free stuff. Let's have a quick count and see actually how many we've got. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140. I think here 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260. Yeah, there we go, 260 from today. Well, as you know, our challenge is to make 1,000 of these. Just to let you know, these don't count towards 1,000. These are just 260 from the last batch of material that we had. We now got to wait a couple of days for the new batch to come in that we were funded for. And as soon as it gets in, we'll get busy making another 1,000 or as many as we can out of the material. So thanks a lot for the support. I think we're running a bit late now. Someone's due to come and collect some of these pretty much in about 3 or 4 minutes, so we need to sort that out.